It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to the KN Cast. This is a show where every week I talk to my best friend Jake Scheidel and ask him whether he watched a certain reality show this week. Jake, how are you doing?
Good. Hey, what was your name as the host of the KN Cast?
That's not important.
Okay.
Look, some people we're winging it. We're not reading off of notes and still messing up.
Oh, okay. But still, 250 episodes in, how many times have I messed up with notes in front of me? And we're two episodes into the KN Cast,
roughly like 25% of the time.
That's only like 10 times, probably. I'm not good at math.
Anyway, I'm Tom Powell. Jake, how are you doing?
Doing great. Very excited for the second episode of the KN Cast. It's a good time. I feel like we delved into a lot more than we were expecting with this show.
Yeah, we're about to have a shootout at the KN Corral.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
That's what I'm calling it right now.
Oh, okay. Fun. And then the next part is you ask me the question and then we launch into the episode.
I thought there was gonna be more patter, but
yeah. You think you're an expert on hosting. Oh, you think, I can do it without even looking at notes, and then you don't even know when to transition out of the patter.
Jake, how's the weather now that you're back in the windy city? How's the weather over there?
I'll tell you, Thomas, it's fucking windy. There's a reason they call it the Windy City, and this is it. It's actually pretty nice.
They don't call it the not windy city.
Yeah. I can
tell you that.
What
right
do you
now,
think
folks.
this is? Bonanza City?
Oh yeah, ho.
I don't know. Is the desert windy?
I'm assuming it can be.
You go to Las Vegas every summer.
There's no trees there to block the wind.
There's no trees there to block the wind. That is true.
Or even buildings. At least Chicago's got buildings.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is boring. Jake, did you watch Kid Nation?
Looking out a dirty old window. Outside the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone and I wonder why.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. This week's episode was called To Kill or Not to Kill. What did you think of that episode title, Thomas?
Truly, that is the question. Was it Jamie that said that?
No, that was our favorite boy, Jared.
Jared, yes.
Who I feel like only exists to give us episode titles.
Yeah, they never show him doing. The only thing that they've shown him doing that wasn't like a talking head was when he bought that big thing of dark chocolate.
See, I totally forgot that even happened. Like all I think when I think of Jared is like that oversized red turtleneck and his cowboy hat and him like rocking back and forth as he says a producer-fed line.
Yep.
This episode was first aired on September 26, 2007. How old would you have been then, Thomas?
September 26, 2007 or 2007? I would have been 16. Would have been 16 years old, Jake.
I would have been about 16 and a half years old. My 16 and a half birthday was about 6 days ago. So, do you remember that party? My 16th and a half birthday party?
I do not remember that party.
Man,
I don't think it
so
happened.
Good. It was so good. We had half a cake, and everybody had half a piece of half a cake. Because it's fun, because it's a half birthday.
They had a bunch of half pizzas there.
Yeah. It was great. People loved it.
We gave you presents that were sawed in half.
Yeah. They were half opened already. What is this bit? It's very stupid.
We're out of sorts. We're so used to covering Survivor that, covering a different show.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've covered somebody else. So they feed their chickens. Somebody named Emily reveals that she breaks wild Mustangs at home. Like, why was that not the first person we met in this cowboy show?
Yeah, I feel like they really buried the lead here.
The town council reads up on chickens, and then they debate eating the chickens. This is like every classic Survivor second episode. Like, do we eat the chickens? Do we not eat the chickens?
Yeah, some people... Look, we've seen this a lot. We've seen people release the chickens. This isn't
Release the chickens. Remember?
Yes. That movie from like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Then there's a big town meeting.
Listen, Jonathan Karsh, he already works around the clock.
There's a big town meeting to decide if they should eat the chickens or not, and DK says, "You eat chicken at home, right? What's different now? Are you in love with the chickens?"
This is a good point, DK.
That's a very good point.
Appreciate DK being a voice of reason here.
The town finally votes to kill the chickens. They tried to make it very dramatic, but it was so obvious that everyone was going to be like, yeah, let's eat chicken. That's fine.
There were going to be a few people that didn't want to kill the chickens.
Well,
everybody else was going to fall in line.
Mm-hmm. Such as Emily, who sets an ultimatum saying that she will leave Bonanza City if they eat chicken. Yeah.
I did like the showdown of them locking themselves in the pen, but unfortunately they almost immediately just went and talked and caved.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bad organizing.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly why you never leave. They're going to try and tempt you to get off of the your spot, but you've already lost once you leave.
Oh, absolutely. When they're in the chicken coop, somebody asks Emily if they're going to kill the chickens by hanging them like Saddam Hussein. This
was the high point of the episode, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess this was probably right around when that happened, but it is incredible that was the first thing that this child thought of. Also fucked up, because that would also mean that the chicken would be decapitated, because that was kind of the infamous thing about the Saddam thing was like a big shit show, but also they inadvertently decapitated him.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that detail. Man, I haven't thought about Saddam Hussein in a very long time.
Yeah, me neither.
There's other stuff going on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had got him.
We did. Mission accomplished. Because of 9/11, never forget.
I had forgotten, but I appreciate you reminding me.
You can never forget. That's the whole thing.
We're recording this on 9/13. This is our belated September 11th podcast.
I'm keeping notes of how many times they reference mid-2000s American politics, because
we're actually gonna change the theme song of the KN cast to "Have You Forgotten" by Lee Greenwood.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's
just
good.
Lee Greenwood's reminder song about 9/11.
Well, I feel like we also should never forget 9/12, when the country really came together. Remember?
That's
what we should be remembering.
Well, yeah, we want to capture the spirit of 9/12, whereas right now we're capturing the spirit of 9/13, which is where everyone went completely fucking insane.
And that's the world now forever. And so,
and it never really got better.
Yeah, and I think that's really something to honor. 19 years of this shit.
We're still in Afghanistan, people. Speaking of desert environments,
man,
New Mexico.
What a transition.
Did you know that it gets cold in the desert sometimes?
I did, yes. The water froze overnight, and it was honestly really upsetting. I was very upset by this whole thing. It's like, yeah, of course the water is going to freeze overnight. Did you not prepare for this? Also, what about fire? Do they not have fire?
Well, it's not really the kids' fault for
It is the kids' fault. The whole society is kids only. That's the whole point.
I guess that's true. The kids have to run. They are responsible for running their own society.
George Bush isn't in charge. Saddam Hussein is not in charge.
George Bush does not yet. Saddam Hussein, he's dead. George Bush, too busy planning 9/11. They've only got themselves.
And you know what? I think they're right too, because these kids, they can run a nation, and they will. Zoomers, they're the future.
Do you think that the failure of Kid Nation is what caused the 2008 stock market crash?
100%.
Because I haven't seen any proof that it didn't cause it.
Well, I mean, CBS was very much invested in this show, very obviously, from all of the legal battles they went through. And I'm sure that they lost a lot of money in having to cancel this show, and that just caused the domino effect that resulted in 2008.
All of the money from the subprime mortgages were all invested in the show Kid Nation, and so when the show Kid Nation was too big to fail, and so when it failed,
man,
it set off a chain of dominoes.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for America, this show. While everybody else works on, feeding themselves when everything is frozen, Taylor's yellow team sits in their bunk.
Fitting that they're the yellow team because they're a bunch of cowards.
Oh, I did not know where that sentence was going.
Too cowardly to do an honest day's work.
Yellow like the lion in the Cowardly Lion in Wizard of Oz. He needed courage, and then I started thinking about Courage the Cowardly Dog.
You got there eventually.
Yeah, thanks. Who would you compare Taylor to as a head of state from the mid-2000s? So far we've got Saddam, obviously. George, of course. Yeah. I don't think that really is... I don't know, you're better at...
I would definitely compare her to George W. Bush.
Isn't she the one who said that George W. Bush line?
Well, yeah, she was the one that said he's not there, and I think her idea was like, I have to be the George W. Bush here.
And what is she doing?
I have to be President Chimp. Remember when that was like the most subversive thing that you could do in the early to mid 2000s was be like the damn president? It really was the early 2000s version of like we got a damn Cheeto in the White House. Was like we got a damn chimpanzee in the White House.
I mean, we still do. He's just oranger now.
Yeah, we got it now. It's an orangutan.
Oh yeah. And that's fitting, too, because orangutans are dying because of climate change, which is a hoax, of course, the orangutan said.
Yeah, okay, Antifa is actually setting fires in all of the orangutan habitats.
If orangutans are dying at exorbitant numbers, how can there be one in the White House?
Yeah, it's a good point. You make a good point.
So, let's rethink this whole climate change thing. Yeah, the whole world's on fire, okay? But what about the monkey in the White House? Orangutans aren't monkeys, I don't think. They're primates. We don't have a wildlife shot this week, so I just have to put that in there. I think they're different species.
I mean, I guess, like, we had chickens, but that was really the only wildlife.
Well, I legitimately debated that, because I was like, are these wildlife creatures? Because they're just like...
They're domesticated animals,
right.
That's true.
So I didn't put them in. I considered it, but I didn't. The boys who are in charge of getting water for the town eventually pour boiling water over the frozen pump, and it works. My question is, where did they get the water to boil? Did they just put a bunch of ice?
I think that they still had water. They just were like, we got to conserve it, and I think they realized that they weren't going to have enough water they needed anyway, so they decided it would be worth the gamble to heat up the water they had and pour it onto the pump, and they were right.
They were right. Smart boys.
Problem solving from these children.
Yeah.
Anytime that they're able to do literally anything, I'm like, damn, good job, kids.
Well done, children. Then we have a showdown. They have to build a pipe through some obstacles. Honestly, this was a solid challenge. I really enjoyed this.
And I also liked that one of the potential rewards that they could get was a giant water slide that would just be in the middle of town at all times.
How great would that be? The show would succeed if that was like on all the promotional material. It's good. If everybody gets done in an hour, yes, they get a 45-foot heated water slide. That's just like rubbing in like what they could have. Like they're struggling with freezing water.
Having that, it would be really funny. Having that water slide in with like they don't have like any plumbing or like electricity or anything, and they're like, also we have this large inflatable water slide and it's heated.
And they probably can't drink that water.
No, I mean you certainly wouldn't want to. I'm not saying that they wouldn't.
Right.
They are physically capable of doing it. You just shouldn't.
Right. The green team really wants out of the laborer class because, as somebody says, getting paid 2 buffalo nickels, it's discouraging.
Yes. Also, green team really should be in the cook's position because, like, they would do it.
Yes.
And they would be better at it.
Yes.
And they would wash dishes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of issues with this, but I think maybe that was the whole point of the show, and I feel like people missed it. The blue team finishes first, so they get to be upper class. The yellow team becomes the cooks again, and the green team does not finish, meaning they do not get the water slide. Or the other prize. Oh, new water pumps. They should have just left that for next time.
Yeah, they were gonna have like a bunch of water pumps all that couldn't freeze that would be all around there. Jonathan Karsh really is good at the Jeff Probst thing of being like, oh, sorry, I guess you can't have this, and like teasing people with stuff. He loves doing it, and he is actually good at it. Yeah. Jonathan Karsh, I gotta say, I respect him as a host.
Yeah, he's doing a fine job. I don't really think about him when he's not on screen, and when he is there, he's doing a competent job, which is like exactly what you want in a host of a show like this. Other than TJ. Man, TJ, I'm always thinking about TJ.
TJ brings his own. TJ is unlike, Karsh is very much trying to operate in like the Jeff Probst established mold, and he does a good job.
Yeah.
TJ created his own archetype.
Oh yeah, definitely. Laurel is not complaining that her team took last place because she says, I can't help but smile when I'm around these people. That's nice. Right? Wasn't that nice?
Yeah. This just sounded like excuses from losers to me.
Yeah, losers and suckers. Back in town, Taylor's in the saloon and asks if there's such a thing as soda rehab. Did you have any comment on soda rehab?
They tried to make me go there, and I said no.
There we go. Greg and his team help the laborers, and Sophia says, you guys really don't have to do this. You're the upper class. Did you know that when we started Kid Nation, that this would be a comment on classism in America?
I didn't, but I do appreciate that the children reject class stratification.
It's good. It's important. I think it's really fitting for the times.
Greg is a true class traitor.
And you know what? Good for him. Greg and Sophia are carrying this show. Some of the younger kids start a stuffed animal daycare. That seems fine.
Yeah, this was like they just needed something to fill like a couple minutes of this episode, and you know what? It was okay.
At first glance, I was like, oh man, did the producers tell them to do this? And I was like, no, probably not. It's probably just kids wanting to hang out with each other. Like, what does it matter? They seem to be doing just fine there, so it's all right. Emily breaks into the chickens again, and then a bunch of kids finally talk her out of the coop, and she says, ooh, I'm out. Who cares?
Also, one of the kids threatened to pull her toenails out and hang her by her ears, I think is what he said.
Cool.
That's kind of fucked up.
Well, hey, that's the Wild West, baby. Another line from Emily I really liked was, I'm out of here, Bonanza.
Yes, great.
It's great. It's just a great line from Emily. So then we get into the town council meeting. Mike says he thinks Greg is only working hard for the gold star. Which, Mike, what? Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, the fact that he's, actually... I guess I don't give a shit what his intentions are if he's still doing that stuff.
You wouldn't have water if it weren't for Greg, right?
Mike's got to get out of his feelings.
He's just 9 years old. That's how 9-year-olds are.
Yeah, he's 11, I think.
Oh, never forget.
Yes. But, this is clearly, and, again, these are children, whatever. But this very much is just, they got into a fight in, the first episode, and so he doesn't like Greg, so he's not going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think Mike also votes for Michael because they have the same name, and they want to get on the challenge same names one day.
They do want to get on the challenge same names together. And you know what? I understand it.
Yeah, it's a good show. They have a meeting, or a vote between the town council, and 2 votes go to Greg and 2 votes go to Michael. So who's it going to be? And they have a town meeting. Sophia and Emily say they disapprove of the town council. The whole town yells at Taylor for being a bad team leader. And she says, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to starve.
Taylor's a tyrant.
Whoever produced the
Who died and made her President Bush?
That's a really good question. I think it was very, very smart of the producers to put her on the town council. Because I think they saw she could be a villain.
From a pure shit stirring TV perspective, yes,
absolutely.
Good call. From the outside research I've done too, everybody fucking hated her.
Well, TV production reality show. There we go. Those are some words in the right order. Like, they did a good job then. If that's the intention.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously there's a lot more going on
It
there.
is pretty fucked up when you're doing that with children, though.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna make these kids fight.
That's the one thing I keep thinking is, like, I don't want to, like, talk shit about these people because they are children. But sometimes they're very annoying.
It's tough, man.
Yeah. This is Parenthood on NBC every Thursday.
On NBC, yep.
Come hang out with me and Peter Krause.
Man, I wish Craig T. Nelson was there.
Oh, man. What if 40 kids and one Craig T. Nelson?
And one Craig T. Yeah, this is what happens when Craig T. Nelson stops getting nice and starts getting real.
What if it was just like Craig T. Nelson, like, was the bartender or sat on, like, a rocking chair on the outside of the saloon and just, like, let the kids do whatever they wanted? And then every so often, like...
Yeah, he'd just be like, I don't have the patience for this, whatever.
And, like, maybe one kid would come up and become friends with him throughout the season. That's a better show.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, they finally reveal the person getting the gold star, and it will be Michael. And then...
Good for Michael.
Yeah, that's great. Here's my realization at the end of the episode. Did not know that Michael and Greg were two different people. So when Michael...
I mean, they have similar haircuts, so I get that.
And they were, like, always together, right? They're the Sam and Pip.
No, that is a different child.
Oh, no.
Michael is the one that did the rousing speech in the first episode, and he's the one that had the idea to unfreeze the pump.
Oh, I thought Greg had the idea to unfreeze the pump.
No, Greg is the one that worked for a butcher.
He's the one who killed the chicken. Okay. I thought that... Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was the same guy.
Nope, different person.
Are they both on the green team?
No.
Oh, boy.
Michael is on the green team, and Greg is on the blue team.
Yeah, it's a good thing you took the lead on the KN cast, because these things are completely lost on me.
Somebody's got to be the President Bush of the KN cast, and it might as well be me.
Can't wait till you retire from the KN cast and start painting KN contestants as dogs.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing paintings of children.
You're going to start a Jonathan Karsh gallery.
Yeah, I'm going to be friends with Ellen. It's going to be great.
Great. There's a season of Survivor that I wrote that's also set in the Wild West. You can read it at survivorwildwest.tumblr.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN, because the name of the show is those initials. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Jake Scheidel. That's my Twitter.
You can follow me at TomNotTom. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the review is still the review. This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up. The other part of it, we're not doing Survivor. So
we're not doing Survivor right now, so we don't have to talk about that. Yeah. You want to hear the title for next week's?
I would love to.
Episode 3 of Kid Nation, which we are covering next week on the KN cast right here. It is called Deal With It.
Hell yeah.
I think
man.
That's a really good episode
3 for
title.
3.
Yeah. We love the KN cast. We love the KN cast. That's very obvious. We love Kid Nation now. Do you love Kid Nation? Are you comfortable saying that yet?
I don't love Kid Nation. But I will watch it.
I will continue to watch it. I haven't grown tired of it yet. I was very tempted to just quit after the first episode, but I feel like that's what a lot of people did, and I feel like Kid Nation has more to say.
We're seeing this through. This has been too long in the making. We have to see this to the end.
It's fun. It's exciting. Man, would you rather be stuck here in quarantine or out in the Wild West with 40 children?
Probably in quarantine.
Well then, Thomas, have a great quarantine.
Deuces.
Last day of the rest of my life, I wish I would've known, cause I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. I didn't tell her that I loved her, how much I cared. I thank my pops for all the talks and all the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day the same routine before I skate off to school. But who knew that this day wasn't like the rest? Instead of taking the test, I took 2 to the chest. Call me blind, but I didn't see it coming. Everybody was running, but I couldn't hear nothing except gun blast. It happened so fast, I didn't really know this kid, though I survived in class. Maybe this kid was reaching out for love, or maybe for a moment he forgot who he was, or maybe this kid just wanted to be hugged. Whatever it was, I know it's because
Kid. Kid. Kid.
Fucked it up. I was really proud of that transition, and then I messed up how...
You bungled it, just like you always do.
I bungled it.
Classic bungle. The bungler strikes again.
Johnny Boy always played the fool. He broke all the rules so you would think he was cool. He was never really one of the guys, no matter how hard he tried, up the thought of suicide. It's kind of hard when you ain't got no friends. He put his life to an end, they might remember him then. You cross the line and there's no turning back. Told the world how he felt with the sound of a gat. We are the youth of
Kid. 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 Kid.
When you would, because this is the KN cast now. Good. I'm recording, so whenever you're ready.
Check 1, 2. Check. Plosive P's. Alright. We gotta, I just gotta get, snaps, we just gotta make sure we're synced up.
Yeah, now that you're the host of the show, you're doing all this professional shit.
Yeah, look, it's a big responsibility.
I know the first thing about responsibility. I just watched the Spider-Verse last night, so...
Oh, of course, yeah, with great power.
Yeah.
Kid. You know the rest.
Yeah.
Alright, I am gonna just quick wet my vocal cords with this delicious lime and watermelon seltzer. Kid. 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 Kid.
Hooray! We did it!